What's going on, guys? It's Monday night, September 14th. The voice you're hearing is not James John. It is Ken Miller because James John is at the Improv right now, and he was too good to hang out with the fellas tonight. Tonight, as Akeem would say. So in the studio, I got Miguel Colon Jr.
What's up, man?
Looking like straight Taliban today.
All day, man. My beard is just my hair on top of my head don't grow anymore, but nose hair and beard hair keeps it going, man.
Keeps it going, bro. That's not even a mustache. That's all nose hair.
All nose hair curled around. It's like an invasive tree or something.
And then I got the hungover Mike Hurley in the building now. I've been nursing the hangover all day.
Man, before we get to that, yeah, Miguel, I know what you're saying because like it's a new hair in different places every day nowadays.
Yes.
It's like I had a itchy earlobe the other day. I was just itching it. All of a sudden I felt something. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? And I felt a hair. I thought it was like one of my hairs from my head that had fallen onto my ear. And then I realized it was attached to the inside of my ear. And this thing had to be a good, I kid you not, just under like half an inch. Not exactly. I'm like, how did this was like overnight? But yeah, Ken, man, I made the mistake of going out to the Improv to check in on Carlos Mencia. James John was hosting. I heard you were hanging out over there. My friend Cisco Duran was featuring. He usually opens for Carlos on the road. And I blame you, man, because I was just standing there and you looked at me and said, "You drinking?"
You drinking?
I was like, wasn't planning on it. And, dude,
two famous words, yo.
And
you drinking?
And you know the problem. That first Jameson goes down so easy. Yeah. And that second Jameson, you're still drinking like you remember the days when you could do 4 or 5 Jamesons.
Yeah.
And that second Jameson, it killed me, man. And by the time it hit me, it was too late. It already hit me. And I was just walk around the Improv giving unsolicited advice to everybody. You know? I was talking to the guy that was mopping the floor. Like, if you start on the left side, it's easier on your back when you pull to the right.
Yo, you know what's so funny about last night? I that wasn't even my plan. I've been going to the Improv pretty much every weekend because it's pretty much what comedy we got going on in the city.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Francisco on Messenger about how we have to have hosts now, and he was like, "Cool." So I walk in the green room, and like I said, I posted a picture of Carlos Mencia, and I said how cool he was. Every comic got their little bit of junk they can talk or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was cool to me. Mm-hmm. And Francisco Duran, who's his opener and road manager, says, "Okay, so James, you're going to go first. Then Country Bob, you're going to go second. And then Ken, you're going to go next. And then I'm going to go." I said, wait. What? Because dude, the shirt I got on right now is the same shirt I had on last night. I was like, I wasn't, and I had been drinking, and I wasn't ready for no guest spot. So I'm trying to get back right. And Mike, you was there for the beginning. I think I said coronavirus. I was drunk.
Yeah.
I was up there, but hey man, you got the Gabonia virus. Like I was slurring my words. So I just kind of walked in on a guest spot. I wasn't even planning on. But once I started feeling the drunk, I said, man, I got to go. I got to work in the morning. I knew the night before, James said he didn't go until like 5 in the morning because on the Late Show, Mencia does like 3 hours, dude. Like how much time did he do Late Show?
Dude, that show started at like 10:30 last night, the Late Show. And I think it didn't end until 1:30 or so. It was a long show, man. And then afterwards, what he likes to do is, and I hung out with them for a bit afterwards, they clear out the room, of course. And then he just hangs out with his opening acts and a few people that, comedy groupies and stuff that stuck around afterwards. And he has them put like karaoke lyrics up on the screen. And he likes to just sit there singing karaoke and empty Improv.
For hours after the show. And for James said they went to Waffle House. And James, I was like, bruh, he's like, I got home at 5 in the morning. I said, dog, did Michelle... Yo, he said that he had to get Carlos Mencia to take a picture holding the Waffle House menu
to prove where he was at.
To Michelle so he wouldn't get killed, bro.
Yep. Oh, and that was like when I was walking out last night. It was the same thing. They're like, "Hey, we're heading over to the Waffle House." I'm like, "It's 3 a.m., man. I don't have these days in me anymore."
Dude. I was like, I knew when I started to get annoying, like jolly annoying last night. I was like touching people and hugging and love, and I love everybody. I said, yeah. It's time for me to go home.
Do you guys ever notice that now? Like, I noticed that it's almost like I have my drunk representative, and then I'm watching myself, and I'm like, okay, we need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and young and drunk and old and drunk ain't the same. Like you said, they were heading up to the Waffle House. Like, I want to go home.
I
I
want to
want
go
to go
home.
home when I'm
I want to
done.
go home.
I
I
want to go
got food at the
home.
house. I want to
Yeah.
go home, lay my head down, drink some water.
Mhm.
If I smoke the cigar, I want to take a quick shower to get the smell off of me. But dog, I was this how I knew I had been drinking. When Mike says, "Hey, text me when you get home." When the comedians say, "Hey man, text me when you get home," you know that you might have been on one.
Oh
You might
man,
have been
you
on one.
just when Ken's running around telling people it's okay, I took an Uber. I'm like, he didn't take an Uber.
He take no
He didn't
Uber.
take an Uber.
He take no Uber. He lying.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
why,
that's
why
why
Uber look like your car?
that's why I'm
Yeah,
a little
right.
bit impressed. But you know, speaking of which, Miguel, you're about to join the old man drinking club, right? You just hit
Yeah,
what
just
39 this weekend, right?
39, man. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Happy
Thank
birthday
you,
to you.
man. Thank you.
What
You
you
know,
do? What do you do?
nothing, man. I went to the beach for 2 days, man. I
Uh,
went out, got a hotel room, stood out there out in the West Coast. And the thing is, like I was telling Mike, man, it is just nowadays, man, if I do stuff all day long, I'm drained. It doesn't matter what I do. If I just do something all day long, by the time I get back to the room, I'm like, well, because we were younger, you go to the beach all morning, get drunk all morning, go
mhm.
back,
Mhm.
shower up, then go out and get drunk. I'm talking, it was like 5:30, and I'm like, I'm gonna lay down in that cold
Mhm.
AC.
Yeah.
We're gonna chill. We're not doing. And then I was all stoked because the room I got had like streaming services. Like it had
Mhm.
Yeah,
Netflix
yeah,
and
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
man,
love them. But you
me
got to make
too.
sure you log out though.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah.
Yeah,
log
you
out
got to
because
log out because
Yeah.
somebody be in there watching your
got a
Netflix.
got a Haitian maid messing up my algorithm.
It's just great. It's
Like,
like I'm gonna get myself a hotel room, drive 2 hours to the beach, and then sit in my room and watch the same stuff I got waiting for me back home.
Yeah,
bro,
Yep.
there
yeah.
was I went to
I'm
New
right there with
Orleans.
you.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans with this girl, and we were there for Mardi Gras. We were there for like 4 or 5 days, and the
Mhm.
fourth day, all we did was on Mardi Gras was stay in the room and watch Netflix because we were just
Mm.
beat. Because
What's
it's
Yeah,
just the
that
nice
happened
body.
on my honeymoon, man. We did four different. We went to Paris, Paris to Rome, Rome to Venice, Venice back to
Mhm.
Rome, and Rome to England.
Mhm.
On our England leg, we were having a good time and we want to
Mhm.
go back there, but we were so tired that the
Yeah,
second day we slept the whole day. Like we
yeah,
slept when we woke up, it was dark again.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
My third day of Mardi Gras, I was like, "We gonna get whatever pizza delivers to this room."
Mhm.
And that's it. That's the
Mhm.
day. Whatever pizza delivers to this room, I'm gonna order enough on the one on that first order, so I don't have to order again later. And then I'm just laying there in the cold AC. And then this last hotel I had Showtime on demand, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Damn, who the hell has Showtime on demand?" Like, I was
Yeah.
you see you, but you got them all, don't you, Ken?
Yeah, I got them
Yeah,
all. I got them all.
they had only Showtime. Like,
Yeah.
who makes that purchase? Like, well, they have such good. No,
No,
that's like
they really don't.
yeah, that's
They
like
really, tell you the truth. Stars
Star's pretty
Stars
good.
gets the best movies. I
Yeah,
really think
Mhm.
Stars gets the best movies, dude. Like they get and they got like a Stars Black channel, so they
yeah.
got all the old school good black movies on there. So if you get anything Stars and HBO is where it's at. Showtime and Cinemax corny.
You know, that's something
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about on Tuesday, but talk about now. I feel like streaming services, if it's not their movie, they don't buy good movies anymore.
Nah,
Like
nah.
Netflix is like, I got cool original movies that they made, but
Mhm.
then like, cause no streaming service has Three Amigos. No streaming service has like Heat, like movies that like basically. I wish streaming services had the movies TBS has on, just the good versions of them. Because back in the day, you turn on TBS and you're like, holy crap, it's Heat, and right after
Mhm.
Heat came Predator, and right
Yeah.
after Predator, you're like, oh my god, like National Lampoon's Vacation, like
Mhm.
movies that you could just turn on and watch. But the streaming services, if you go through it, it just starts
Mhm.
getting you angry
Yeah,
because you
it's
like,
like
oh yeah,
Crocosaurus.
yeah,
Crocosaurus 2. I'm like, yo, Netflix, what is up with y'all these
yeah.
Crocosauruses, yo? Like, yeah.
It's always I spend a lot of time on Amazon Prime too, like using
Yeah,
like the free videos on there because I had Amazon Prime for a while, never realizing that it allowed me to get like free movies as
Yeah.
well through the Prime Video. I didn't know.
yeah.
I just thought I was getting like cheap delivery on stuff. So I went through all that. And even now, whenever there's a film I want to watch, I'll go through Amazon Prime. And it always upsets me that I'm like, dude, how can I watch like all the Indiana Jones movies for free right now? But you're gonna charge me $9.99 for John Wayne. Like
Yeah,
there's one
yeah.
John Wayne, like the movies that you would think should be free and
They'll be free,
accessible.
yeah.
are like
Yeah.
only available $9.99. I'm like, but okay, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I always do this. I love the Roku used to be the only one that did it, and I think all the services do it now. Where you can search for the movie and it'll show
through
you
all
where
of it.
you go where that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I got
that's what
that
I
Roku.
love too. I hit that search and I'm like, oh, I got that subscription. I can
Yep.
go watch that movie.
I tell you what though, man, it's crazy, and I think maybe it's our generation still. I like things like Pluto TV because something's already on, and I don't have to pick it. I'll just
Yeah,
go through Pluto TV, and it's like boom, all westerns, all bank robbery movies, and then it'll be a quarter into the movie, and I'll watch it. But if you asked me to pick that same movie on Netflix, I wouldn't pick it. It
yeah,
has to be on already, you know?
yeah. I like Pluto TV. That's my background noise
Yeah,
when I'm
that's
working
cool.
during the day. I just
Unsolved
put
Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries on. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, today I was on FBI Files today. I had FBI Files, but then football season started, so I started watching
Yeah.
football.
Hey,
So
football don't care, man. There ain't no masks. People hugging each other, man.
so they don't, they still sharing the Gatorade
Yeah.
thing. Like I'm like, like you don't got your own Gator. It's a $1 billion company. Y'all telling me everybody can't get their own Gatorade.
They're like,
We got to still do the whole squeeze. Like we got to
yeah,
share Gatorade still.
yeah.
Like come on. I
Hey,
was on
basketball is doing everything. Virtual
bruh,
audiences.
everything. Well,
Football's like, nah.
football's pumping in crowd noise.
Yeah.
They got like fake crowd noise. I was on Jim Colbert's fan page, and somebody was like the crowd noise was annoying them,
Yeah.
and
It
I was
sounds
like,
real to me.
But
yeah, but they said
that's
it annoyed them because nobody was there, so it was
that's
annoying.
nothing new. The Jaguars have been doing that for like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Son, matter of fact, I think they won.
Yeah.
I
Jacksonville,
think
yeah.
they might have won. Let me look and see.
Did they? Who were
I
they
think-
playing? Who were they playing tonight?
The scrimmage team.
Yeah, they beat the Colts. They
Yeah.
beat
Oh,
the
wow.
Colts. But what's crazy was because Jacksonville traded like everybody. They either
Yeah.
traded or they dropped everybody. So people were like Jacksonville fans are like, we're done. And then my timeline is like, yes, right, Jags, baby, Jags, we back. I'm like, yo, it's game one. Like, come on.
Hey,
Game one.
the confidence people have of the first game of football season is the same confidence like a 400-pound girl in spandex has in Walmart. You
Yo.
know, where they just like, we doing it. We doing it this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. So Tampa Bay lost, so that made my day. Because
Yeah.
I hate the Bucks.
Where
And they
did the
got the
Raiders
goat with
move
them.
to this year? Did they move to Vegas?
Yeah,
they're
they're Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
And they
Yeah, they're-
won. They got their
yeah.
first win to
Yeah, they beat Carolina.
But you don't got Cam no more, man. Cam's
Hey, and they won.
yeah.
I think he rushed for like 2 touchdowns. Like he had a
Those
really
little-
good game.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to see him wear his little dresses and church hats.
Oh, dude, he had a yellow suit on. He had like a Steve Harvey suit on.
He looked like a
yellow
banana.
Steve Harvey suit on, bro. I don't know who dresses Cam. Like Cam Newton and Dwayne Wade. I don't know who dresses those dudes. But like seriously, like, but that's the fashion.
Do you
Yeah,
think they just have a contest like who can go crazier? Like it's an inside joke they got going on?
Well,
Like,
if it is, Dwayne Wade is winning because he is
Really?
the weirdest. Oh, dude, him and
Over Cam?
Russell Westbrook. Oh yeah, Dwayne, go look
Russell
up
Westbrook. Oh yeah.
go look up some stuff that Dwayne Wade wears. You'll be like, dog, are you sure you're not? Yeah.
Russell Westbrook looked like an old black lady in church half the
Oh,
time.
he's so ugly, bro. He's so ugly. For real. Like he is like the ugliest NBA. He's the ugliest NBA player since Sam Cassell. Like for real. For real. Like I'm not even joking, man. But hey, check it. We're gonna run into a commercial break. And since James ain't here, we don't know what the hell we talking about tonight. We're just having a good time, yo. So we'll be back on Real Labs on Real Radio. We back, Real Radio, Real Labs, 104.1. It is September 14th, Monday night. I'm joined not in the studio. I'm joined at home, but not my home, with Mike Hurley and Miguel Colon Jr., who's trying to fix his camera, I guess.
When we going back in the studio, man? I mean, even bars are opening up to like 50% this week or something. Like, what's going on with the studio? Are we going back? What's up? Anyone know anything?
I think they're gonna keep us all out forever. Like,
Really?
they just figured out a new system.
Like, they didn't renew
they're
the
just
lease
like,
on the
hey, look,
building.
man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're like, listen, man.
Our
we're gonna
overhead
get a
is
younger,
down.
hipper, cooler. Yeah, I want to go
Well-
back into the studio just because there's a vibe in there. I mean, I do. There's a good thing about being at home. I mean, am I wearing pants? Am I not? That's up to you to decide. You know, but in the studio, it's just I don't know. I love bringing guests in there too because that's where the real vibe happens.
Yeah. I just miss being able to look over at the production booth and seeing Casey with his finger on the button like every second. I really miss making him nervous. every time we record in there, we always felt like it was probably all our last day. It was nice, but
Yeah.
That was always the saying. This
also,
it. This the show.
you know, without spending a ton more money, this is the best we can do with sound.
Right. Right.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Casey always did a real good job. Like I would listen to us on the way home sometimes, and I'd be like, "Wow, we sound amazing." And now when I listen to us, I'm like, "Wow, why do they keep letting us have a show?"
Sometimes I hear it and I hear myself and I'm just like, man, it's like it definitely has like my mic has the Arby's drive through in the rain sound.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
just the lowest. Like no matter what
Yeah.
we do, your volume is always just
It's
low.
lower. Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
don't get it.
Well, my
Yeah.
job, we're not going back into the office until January. We got an email that January 4th is when we'll be allowed back in the office, which for me is cool because I just booked some dates. So I can be on the road, not take PTO, just take my laptop and be working from the hotel.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I know.
So that's
I'm
the plan
going
for us.
I'm going tomorrow. Afrotainment, they completed the build out on the studio while we were down. And now I'm going for the walkthrough tomorrow. And we were supposed to go back September 14th, but that got pushed back like another week. So I think I'm going back like 21st or something like that.
Do
Okay.
you miss the office, Ken? Because I mean, I know you
Yeah,
like.
I do. I do. I think most people that I don't- let me rephrase it. I ain't gonna say most people because I don't think people have the same office like I have. I work with 17 guys that could legit be stand-up comics. They're really that funny of a crew of people to work with. So I actually enjoy going to the office. Like four or five, like four of those dudes were in my wedding. One of the dudes, I was in his wedding. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're really that close. We're
Yeah.
really that tight. We've been to each other's house. We know each other kids. We do Secret Santa. We do pilot. We actually like being like we have a fantasy football league of all of us together. Like we
Yeah.
really enjoy being. So I think I miss that. The part that I loved about working from home is I love the fact that I've saved so much money on gas and food and
Yeah.
tolls and I can wake up at 6:59, get out the bed and just walk right to the
Work.
laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
That's the hot
saying?
part.
But I do miss I just miss the fellas, honestly. I just
Yeah.
miss the laughing and bonding and them making a good funny joke and then I take it to the stage and it's mine now.
Hey,
'Cause they ain't gonna know.
did you ever have like one turd in that group where
Oh
it's like
yeah.
this person ruined everything because
Yeah, we
everybody's
got
so
him
dope?
fired.
Yeah.
Okay, lie. He got himself fired because he was a nightmare. He was a
Yeah.
nightmare, bro. But he had to be fired like 4 or 5 years ago. But still, to this day, he's somebody that we bring up in the office.
Yeah.
If something happens, we'll say, "Yo, that used to be so and so."
Yeah. That's the worst though, when there's one person that just doesn't get it. Like it's okay if they're to themselves, but if they just are the one who ruins things for
Yeah, yeah,
everybody, especially when you got a kind of crew that's like, listen, we're getting everything done more efficiently than if we would do it the square way. And then there's the square that's like, I just know, I don't know, I
yeah. We
don't
had
want it.
people in the office where, like, when other bar had first started, and I would get them drunk on Monday
Yeah.
nights, and I would call out on Tuesday.
Mhm.
And I had a dude in the office like he's not sick. He was at the bar last night. It's on his Facebook. So I had like I got to block him, and I got him fired too. Um, I said I'm blocking you, dude. But every office got that. Every office
Yeah.
do. Every office got that dude or that chick that just ruins everybody's fun and don't want to do stuff this way and don't want to
Yeah.
participate in this and don't want to. I'm just like, dog. Then you definitely need to work from home.
Yeah.
But I miss the office, man. But we were gonna talk about Labor Day. What y'all do for Labor Day? I know we were out for the week.
I worked over at the Sausage Castle. They had their Labor Day party over there, which was pretty cool. But it's like everything's so like usually those parties they would have hundreds of people over there, man. We had like 50 because there's 80 acres and a lake and stuff. So they wanted to have enough people where you could be around the lake and do your own thing, but not really mingle, you know? And the thing about that is like it don't feel like a party anymore. It just feels like I'm working a campsite. Like a
Yeah, yeah.
KNW, you know, like, hey,
Do y'all just party there to party? Like you be like, yeah, it was
yeah.
Labor Day. We had the Labor Day party,
So
or
what
then
it
the
is,
next week you be
yeah,
like, yeah, we had the Wednesday party.
yeah. So here's what it is. because they have a membership service, how it works is people pay $33 a month, and there's like 7 to 8 thousand members that pay $33 a month to watch all the content and everything. But every month we would have a party at the house for 3 days that the members could RSVP to, and the first 500 people that RSVP could come party for 3 days at the house. And we would get entertainment. All the food was covered. Like for the Halloween party, it's called DPIC, drunk people in costumes. And like, yeah, we had a yeah, we had 3-6 Mafia last year. You know, Mike booked 3-6, man. You know, and that's free. If you're a member, the first 500 members that RSVP, there's campsite around the whole property. There's a campsite with lakes, like a KOA campsite. It's got 36 picnic tables with power outlets and like a parking area. So you camp around there. Then there's 2 sets of outdoor showers, porta potties everywhere. Then there's all types of stuff like a baseball field, big warehouse that's like a Dave and Buster's full of arcade games and mechanical bulls and stuff. So when you come to these members weekends, there's like an itinerary. You get there on Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You come in, that's your own free time. Then 8 p.m. there's dinner at the warehouse with the sound stage. We'll get an artist on Friday. We'll get like a band that's cool that like it ain't big, you know, because people are still arriving. There's free food, free drinks, and there's a party at the house. Then Saturday, you start off. There'll be games
Wait,
set up
hold up.
around the
Where these
lakes.
people
Yeah,
stay? They go back
camp.
home?
No, they camp all around. You can't leave.
Oh,
We have security there, and they're breathalyzing people. And you sign a waiver that if you leave, you're not coming back, except in the daytime if you want to go shopping or something like that. But and then straight up, there's a Lake County police officer down the road, and we usually have their personal phone number. And if somebody leaves, because you can't detain anybody on private property, even if they're drunk, you can't tell them, hey, you can't stop them, you know. But we tell them straight up, hey, man, it's a mile drive straight, no matter which way you leave. And you leave here, we calling that Lake County officer's phone, and we're like, "Hey, red car, Honda Civic, they're drunk. Get them." Because
wow, yo, you snitching like that?
hey, man, because we give you everything you want to stay there. You got a campsite. You can hook up an RV over there. All the food and alcohol is included.
Oh,
But they're good, decent people in that town who don't want us there, and we gotta make sure we gotta make sure we do our part when it comes to drinking and driving, man.
true, true. Mike, you do anything for Labor Day weekend?
Man, I just had a nice weekend with the kids. Like even though they're doing the homeschool thing and everything like that, I get so caught up with all the other stuff I do that sometimes I just don't actually get to spend a lot of time with them. So we just had a movie marathon, and I let them stay up late because they didn't have school on Monday. So Sunday night we stayed up late and kind of camped out in the living room, just watching Harry Potter. And I gotta tell you, man, I gotta get my testosterone levels checked because I was bawling during the last two movies of Harry
Yeah.
Potter. Like I was
I've only
full
seen the
on.
first one. I've never seen the rest of them.
Really, I was full on like sniffling and just wiping little runaways. And like my 10-year-old's like, Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. It's been a long day. But I'm just like, at the end of it, I'm like, man, I should have gone to wizard school. I made so many, all the choices. If I put half the ability into my wizard powers as I did into trying to be a stand up comic, man, I could have been the Dark Lord.
I think, Mike, whenever I hear about your kids are the kind of kids like I would like to be their uncle so badly because
Yeah.
they just do cool stuff, and then you could be the one to raise them. But your kids are the ones you just show up where you're like, I got a Captain America shield, some Hulk gloves. Let's go outside and play all day long.
Let me tell you right now, I'm trying to be a good dad. Like I pull my 10-year-old aside all the time. I'm like, hey, buddy, because he does Cub Scouts right now, Boy Scouts and stuff. And I'm trying to. Both my brothers are athletes. I was never really
Yeah,
much of an athlete, but I don't want to take that from him if that's something he wants to do.
yeah,
So I'll try to talk him into like being like, "Hey man, do you want to go do like basketball or baseball, or do you want to do football? Should we go pick up some gloves and throw the
yeah.
ball around in the yard and stuff like that?" And he's like, and then he'll come running over. He's like, Dad, did you see Spider-Man's new costume? And he'll pull up he's been on Google looking where he can get the new Spider-Man because he's like, because I can wear this for Halloween and MegaCon or just
Yeah.
around the house. I'm like, why fight it? Why
Yeah.
Yeah,
fight it?
why
He's
fight
me.
it, man?
That's
know?
exactly it.
Why
Exactly
fight it,
it.
yo? Why
Because
fight it?
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Like I played sports very lightly in high school just because I wanted to, and and that was how it is with all rec sports with me and stuff. But
Mhm.
like, you put too much pressure on them to do anything, and they do it because they're kids and they're gonna do what their parents
Yeah.
want. But it sucks because they're just like, oh my God, now I got to go do this. But one day, you know what I'm saying? Your boys might come to you and be like, hey, I want to play soccer. I want to do
Mhm.
this. I'm interested. And then you do it. And if they like it, they keep going with it. But I grew up with so many kids that hated some of the things their parents put them in.
Yeah.
And they had to do it forever. Like I knew kids that were in band that were like, I hate this. I hate this. There's no passion with me in this.
Yeah.
Well, especially with my little brother. I mean, I come from a baseball family. My older
Yeah.
brother, my little brother, and my little brother was actually on the scout list for the Cardinals. He was
That's
like,
cool.
yeah, and then he had some stuff going on with his arm, but
Yeah.
like he was on the way. And that kind of became my family's identity, like going to
Yeah.
his tournaments and being the parents of, and
Yeah.
and then I used to joke around that I'm like, I don't have to do anything with my life. My brother's going to be a famous baseball player. I'm going to sell tabloid stories about
Yeah.
it. Like that was my plan. And then when he got injured and everything just kind of fell apart
Yeah.
sports wise, it's like, well, when that was that was all you
Yeah.
had planned. That was your only direction. That was your identity as the family, as a sports family. Every time I watch, was it Varsity Blues or something? I'm like, been there. When the kid
Yeah.
breaks his leg in the very beginning and his whole family's like, this was our way out.
Yeah. That was a whole ticket.
Yeah, that's like what's that Friday Night Lights?
Yeah,
Booby,
yeah.
Booby. They
Yep.
put Booby in. That Booby spin, coach.
Yep.
I got a friend that honestly, her parents held her back in kindergarten so that she would be taller later on when she was playing sports in middle school. I think that's like child abuse in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like like they chose to held her back in kindergarten so that she could be taller.
See,
Wow.
my birthday's in October. So like where I went to school in Connecticut, when I started going to school, my parents had the choice of putting me in that year or holding me back because I
Yeah.
was right on the border. And they decided to put me in. So it was kind of put me in a weird situation because I was always the youngest kid in all my
Yeah.
classes. I always related more, especially when I got to high school. Like I had my friends who I'd gone to school with for years, but I always related more taste wise and everything else with the kids that were like a year behind me. And like even now in life, I always feel like I'm jumping on things a little bit later than everybody, But who
Well,
knows?
that's how my brother was when my mom passed and I got adopted. I was 5. My brother was 4, but but he turned 5 in September 21st.
Mm-hmm.
But school started like August, like late August. But my mama went to the school, like they going to school at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up
Yeah.
going to I was 5 years old. He was 4. We end up going to school at the
Yeah.
same time, even though he wasn't really supposed to start till the next year.
And when it was the most hardest was in like high school when all the kids in my class were able to get their license and got their cars and everybody was driving, and I was still the only one that wasn't able to. So I'm like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, which are we going to talk about next? We'll just figure it out.
Yeah,
who
play
cares?
it by ear.
James' topics were corny. James was like, "Hey man, let's talk about the Adele wearing cornrows. Don't nobody give a damn about no Adele. She ain't got no new James Bond song. I don't care. Let's talk about Adele. Should white people wear cornrows? James, bro. I mean, sometimes, man. Hey, this is Real Laughs on Real Radio, man. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Real Laughs on Real Radio. It is Monday night, September 14th. I am joined by Mike Hurley, Miguel Colon Jr. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
James is not here with us tonight. James is hosting for Carlos Mencia at the Orlando Improv, and he probably won't be getting home until 5 o'clock in the morning again. So if you don't know the story, James is hosting for Carlos Mencia, and if you ever been to a Carlos Mencia comedy show, the late show, he legit does about 3 hours of stand-up.
It's almost it's way too much for me.
It's way too much for anybody. And I get it, he's the headliner, but at the same time, the club isn't selling any drinks.
Yeah.
There's no drinks, there's nobody working, it's just people sitting there. Just, and if you that big of a fan, you want to sit there for 3 hours, get your photo op on, do your thing, dog. But I know me, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm tapping out. I'll go get Kermit to Photoshop me a picture with Carlos Mencia before I sit 3 hours. Because I've done it before. When I hosted for Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney did 3 hours, dude. It was points where I had to go get him off. The manager was like, Ken, please go get him off stage.
And let me ask
I had to literally go on stage and be like, guys, thank you, Paul. Give it up with Paul Mooney.
With Paul Mooney,
was it
a good 3 hours too?
No.
Because some people don't do a good 3 hours. Sometimes it's like this.
Hey, bro, real talk. I tell people this
Yeah,
all the time. Paul Mooney's first 45 minutes is the funniest comedy I've ever seen.
really.
It is the funniest, the smartest. It is so good. The other 2 hours and 15 is just him calling white people this, black people the N word, calling black women the B word. It's just rude. It's just a lot
Yeah.
of rudeness to it. So they're giving him the light, like dude, to the point they set somebody on fire in the show. They were trying to give him the light. It was the burning bush in the Old Testament. The burning bush, fire and brimstone. I had to go get him on stage because we were in my old Miami Improv was where was it?
Coral
Coleman?
Gables.
Cork, yeah.
Coral
And
Gables.
and
Yeah.
it's near Little Haiti.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple of blocks from the hood.
Yeah.
So the late show is dark. It's people lined up around the corner. It's humid. They're walking around giving people waters. You know what I'm saying? It's so
Yeah.
hot, but at the same time, it's kind of hood where it is. So you
Yeah.
got these people dressed up, standing in the ghetto, waiting to
Yeah.
get into a show for 2.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? And then this is before COVID, so they did a quick turnaround, which they really couldn't do because he take pictures on stage. So there's people lined up to pay $5 to take a picture with him. So you're trying to clean and get him out. So it was a long show. So Mencia does that, and then he does karaoke, and then James went to the Waffle House with him, and James didn't get home till 5 o'clock in the morning.
You know,
And
James had that worry too. He's like, I want to
bruh,
hang with the boys,
when I
but
asked about
already.
when I asked him about it, he was like, Ken, you know Michelle don't play that. You know Michelle. You know Michelle don't play that. Michelle don't. I was like, well, what do you do? He said he took a picture with Carlos Mencia at the Waffle House with the Waffle House menu, and he sent it to Michelle. And he said he got home at like 5 and still woke up at like 7 and like made her breakfast.
But
I,
Michelle probably texted him a picture of new keys, letting him know not even to try him in the door. Just a difference. There's a locksmith changing the
yeah.
lock. Sometimes,
Oh,
sometimes with James, it trips me out because I'm like he'll tell me something. And I'm like, that's crazy, right? Like that's not just regular.
yeah, yeah.
Like because our job, like we gonna be out and it's a Saturday and there's nothing to do on Sunday. So hey, I understand the text, like, hey baby, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna be out with Messi and the boys tonight. When do I get this opportunity? But I also know he's like, hey Carlos, I'm gonna need you to call my wife. Like,
Yo, I had just got married. I think I had been married a couple of months, and Guy Tori was in town. And I hung out with Guy Tori. We went and smoked cigars, and I got home like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my wife said, "You tell Guy Tori you married now. You don't get to hang out till 3 o'clock in the morning no more, sir." And I was like, "All right, bro." That next night, man, Guy Tori was like, "We smoking cigars." I said, "You smoking cigars? I'm going home." To the
eh,
point where I don't even think I think Dwayne was there, and I said, "Hey man, can you take Guy Tori off stage, bro? I got to go home. I can't." Because Guy Tori, another one, he'll go late show. He'll go an hour and 45. And
yeah.
I'm like, I can't be here all night, bro. I'm like, Dwayne, close. I said, I throw you $25, or I'll be like, Dwayne, you can get food. I'll take care of your food. Can you please
Just get
close
him
the
out.
and,
show out?
and
I
he's
gotta
like,
go
good because
home.
I already ate it. So
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because Dwayne already got the food, man.
Hey,
But
did you
yeah,
when you were married when you were in the army, right, Ken?
yeah.
So I know like back when you were NCO, there had to be times when you were like went out to the bar at like 6, 7 o'clock and got home at like 5 a.m.
Oh no,
And nope.
no, not in my married time. When I wasn't married, yeah, we would go to the NCO club
Yeah.
in Arizona. It's called the La Hacienda was the name
Just
of it.
shut it
And
down.
we would be there till this I know is old. I used to go to the club back when the club was closing. They
Yeah.
played slow jams.
Get everybody out.
So
Yeah, to let
everybody
them
out,
know.
because that's your moment to go holler at the girl. They don't
Yeah.
play hardcore hip hop, all night. We don't walked all night. So now they like, all right, fellas, this your time, and then we will go and then go to the Waffle House, even go to the Waffle House or whatever was open. Denny's was open back then,
Mhm.
or Jack in the Box because I was on the West Coast. So
Yeah.
we would go to Jack in the Box, get our food, and go back on base, man, and hope you don't get no DUI riding on base because the MPs they be like,
What
here you go, blow.
when I was managing restaurants, they sent me down from Stewart, Florida to West Palm Beach, Florida, because they had a problem with their bar manager stealing. So they fired him and they sent me down there to redo the whole bar staff and retrain and do inventory and stuff. And so I was driving from like Stewart, Florida to Palm Beach, Florida, and working nights. And one night after one of the shifts, my bartender was like, "Hey man, you want to grab a drink?" I'm like, "Dude, it's like 2:00. Where are we going to grab a drink?" He's like, "Dude, you're in West Palm now." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We got places open till 5 in the morning." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" And so we went out. We, hit that bar, stayed there till it closed. And I'm like, "Man, I'm still pumped. I want to do stuff." He's like, "Well, the Denny's over here serves liquor." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." So we went to Denny's and they had like a bar in the Denny's. You could do beer and like wine and stuff like that. And then I'm like, "Oh man, this is awesome." He's like, "You think this is awesome? The place we just left, they open up again at 7." So like, I'm like, who would do that? And then like after a month, like all of a sudden it was just routine. Close down Friday night, go over there till 5. They close down. We grab Denny's and we're back in there Saturday, Sunday morning, 7:00, just drinking again. And I would say that's when I realized I had a problem.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
about it.
I learned that I did when I used to do the Fort Lauderdale Improv,
Hmm.
and in that Hard Rock area had all those bars.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I left. I went to a bar, and I was like, man, I guess I'm about to head out. And the guy was like, why? I said, yo, it's 2. Y'all ain't no last call. He says, man, we close at like 6 in the morning. I was like, what? I said, I'll be right back, bro. I would have took my merch, put my merch in the car, and at the time, man, I wasn't seeing anybody, so it was some girls there, man. Who was I with? John Heffron. And me and
Hmm.
John Heffron went back. Man, I think the sun came up. We was leaving that mug.
I had the opposite. I was in like, I think it was down West Palm or something, and I was hanging out with my homegirl, and like we were kicking it with this dude like that she was talking to, and I was staying down there for the weekend. And it's like 2:45 in the morning. We're at this bar and I'm leaning, where you just leaning on the bar, like
Hmm.
sitting there with a drink, and I'm like, cool, man, we gonna get out of here soon. She comes up with these drinks. She's like, isn't it great? This bar doesn't close till 5. I'm like, no, like I
it's
want to
it,
go home.
it always puts your life in perspective when your night's ending, you're leaving a bar, the sun's coming up, and you see
Sun's
people on
coming
the
up.
road. You see people on the road that are going to their real jobs, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Am I on the right side of
Yeah,
this whole thing?"
I used to
dude,
go to
that
I used to go to Wally's over there on Mills all the time.
Oh
My
yeah.
friend's father owned it, and Wally's would open up at 7 a.m. And
Hmm.
you'd go to Wally's at 7 a.m. and all the postmen are there wearing jackets, so you can't see their uniform, but they're all in there. They got everything about them says postman, but they got on like an old starter coat, so you can't see, and
yo,
they just
the starter
pounding
jacket, bro.
shots. Yeah,
Well, that's like outside Disney. There's a couple of bars. There's Cheers
yeah.
over on
Cheers.
Polynesian. There's Kitty O'Shea's. Is it Kitty O'Shea's over by
Yeah,
that little plaza at the Crosstowns
on
Plaza? And there's
535. Yeah,
yeah, and then there's the Perkins. And there was a rule when I worked for Disney that some people will bring their wardrobe home because they
yeah,
want to wash it themselves because they're allergic to detergents or
yeah,
whatever else. But you're not supposed to wear your Disney uniform off property. You're not even supposed to be seen in your Disney uniform out of your zone type thing. But like all those rules get thrown out the door because you can walk into that little Irish pub at like 1:30 on Friday and there's just people dressed up like Future World from Epcot bitching about their day. Just like, I'll tell you one more time, dude. If they put Goofy on right when I'm trying to load my queue, we're going to have words.
I
Oh,
want to see
God.
like Donald Duck in costume sitting at the
At
bar.
the bar with
Yeah,
the drinks, bro.
drinking.
Just
Just like,
pounding Jaeger
man,
bombs.
Yeah,
man.
smoke
Got
coming
his
out the
head off
mask.
on the barge. It's a rough day, man.
Rough
Yeah.
Rough
day,
day.
man. I had that happen when I was traveling with the president. I went to Uganda,
Mhm.
and they had a bar that closed at like 8 in the morning. So it was a Friday night, and it's the hotel we were staying at. It was nothing really going on around it. They had a little bar, but it wasn't like no top shelf liquor. They had like beer,
Yeah.
like like Coors and like American beer, like nobody wanted.
Mhm.
So the concierge there, she was like, it's a club that's open. We were like, yo, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, yeah, it's open till like 6 or 7. So we was
Mhm.
like, cool. We get dressed and everything. We got on khakis with our polo shirts tucked in, looking like real
Yeah.
idiots, right?
Squares. Yeah.
And she was like, this is like a, a hip hop black club. You might not want to dress like Secret Service.
Yeah.
Of course, I come back. I got on the throwback jersey, Mitchell and Ness. And I'm just real hip hop, man. I'm just like fabulous. Man, it's like a 35-minute ride to this club, bro, and it's just dark. It's just dark, just dark. And all I'm thinking is like a lion's gonna jump out. We about to get ambushed. I'm really thinking like we're gonna get kidnapped because we're really not supposed to be doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I blink and open my eyes. We are in like the heart of Uganda, and it looked like Atlanta. It was a urban city. It was a beautiful city, bro. I was like, yo, where the hell did this come? We just I was just in what I was just in Pride. What's the Pride
Yeah.
country? What
It was
what's the
like it was like
Lion
flying it,
King?
like flying
Yeah.
into Wakanda, huh?
You
Yeah,
about to
right,
say,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike. I flew
What?
into Wakanda. I was like, what in the hell? Like right through. Captain America's like, just go lower. Just
Uh-huh.
like, no, we're
That's
gonna
right.
crash. No, you good. And then I was like, oh my god. So we get in there. They're playing like our hip hop. They're playing like our
Yeah.
music, bro. We were in that club. I'm telling. When we walked out, because it's called the Black Angel, and
Mhm.
it's dark. It's the windows. Everything are dark. We walked out, and it was the sun was legit up.
Mhm.
And I was like, bruh, if you don't get me back to this hotel, I got duty in like 2 hours. So I go take a shower. I'm manning my post, bruh. I smell like straight Hennessy. I smell like straight liquor and African oils.
I like knowing if you want to get the drop on the president, March 18th, if he's away from the States, knowing all his Secret Service a little hungover.
Yeah, you're
Like,
like, man.
oh man.
Mm.
Like why that Secret
uh.
Service agent standing next to the limo eating eggs and bacon? I'm so tired.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Mr. President, I'm gonna take a nap. Here's my gun. Here's
But
my
yeah,
gun.
man, I can't do that no more, bro. I get to the point like even last night, man. I was Saturday night. I was like I wasn't even planning on going to the Improv. I was really gonna stay home, and then I caught my second wind. And then when I got to the Improv, my second wind was done, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going. I said, I'm going home, B. I'm tired, bro. I
It's a,
got
it's
here and crashed.
it's a second breeze. That's
Oh.
it, you know.
Yeah, man. But I start working out and stuff, so maybe I get that energy back. But now, dude, like at 10 o'clock, man. Let me tell you something. I throw something on this TV to that I can go to sleep to. It'd be random stuff. Like the other day, I watched what's the show with the twin girls, Sister
Sister,
Sister.
sister.
It's on Netflix. I just put Sister Sister on, and I fell asleep to that.
I got to the point where I have a fan sound that I play on my phone if there's no fan in the hotel room I'm staying at. And it's just like, just so I can sleep.
Oh man. Wait, man, that's our show for Monday, man. James John, he wasn't here, but we went ahead and represented it for him anyway. You guys anywhere this weekend coming up?
Not this weekend coming
Nah,
up.
man.
No.
The next thing I got on the calendar is I picked up Margaritaville like October 9th and 10th, but that's
Bro,
all I
you're
got
gonna
right now.
love it. You are
Yeah.
going to love it's so good now, man. Well, I'm supposed to be featured at the Improv unless Tommy Davidson brings somebody, so we'll see.
Ah, nice, man.
So we'll see. But hey, man, Mike Hurley, Miguel Colon Jr., I'm Ken Miller. Thank you guys so much for listening to Real Labs on Real Radio. You can catch us every Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock, or catch us on the Real Radio app or iHeartRadio, man. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.